Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Lunch with Books.
You only did it once.
Excuse me?
You only said it once.
Yes, that's true. I like to change it up so you don't get too
You got that.
robotic about it. Yeah. So I mentioned this to Manami when we first talked about her doing programs here. Back in 1927, there was a similar effort. Japan, the United States had a cultural exchange involving dolls. One of them came to Wheeling. So I did a story about it, it's a real short story. And there's a gentleman who researches it. He wrote a book about these dolls, which I forgot to bring today, but I'll bring it Thursday. And it's very well illustrated. And they were beautiful dolls. And we still don't really know why one of them was in Wheeling, because it was destined to go to Kansas, and it now lives in South Dakota. Her name was Miss Totoro. You can see a picture of her if you go to the story, which is on Archiving Wheeling blog if you're interested in it. So I just thought I'd mention that. This Wednesday, that is tomorrow at 6 p.m., Ekphrastic Creation Workshop. This is related to Wheeling Reads, and Ekphrastic creation means creating art or writing based on another work of art or writing. So if you're inspired by, say, the Mona Lisa, and you wrote a poem about it, that would be ekphrastic. And so we're going to have a similar thing for Wheeling Reads for the book Heat and Light by Jennifer Haig. And so if you want to learn how to do that, tomorrow at 6 p.m. here in this room. And then Thursday, Manami will be back. Onigiri will be making this food. And she'll tell you more about that. That'll be Thursday at 7 p.m. and it's the final People's University Japanese Culture. But Manami will be back for another program, another new program in July about travel language for travel. Next week on Tuesday, David Javersack will be back after a long hiatus. And he's going to tell us about the people who are already in the Wheeling Hall of Fame in preparation for the new class on June 10th. Okay. So Manami is back today to tell us about this film, which you can check out if you didn't get to see it. We did screen it Friday, My Neighbor Totoro. And so she's going to talk more about that in the context of Japanese culture. Here she is, Manami.
Hello, I'm Manami, and today I'm going to talk about life in Japan, but also based on My Neighbor Totoro, this movie. And yeah, My Neighbor Totoro. And in this movie, there are a lot of Japanese culture in it, so I'd like to mention about them. I'm going to talk about studio. Okay. Studio Ghibli. I'm going to talk about Studio Ghibli and religion and culture in Japan, and life and school in Japan. And we can do some activities just for fun. I brought some traditional toys and decoration stuff, ornaments, and chopsticks, so we can have fun with them. Okay. So firstly, the movie's name is My Neighbor Totoro. And in Japanese, we call it Tonari no Totoro. Pointer. Yeah, it says Tonari no Totoro. Tonari no means my neighbor, and Totoro. So it's same meaning as English title. My Neighbor Totoro. And this movie was created in 1988, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. He's very famous in Japan. He's the founder of Studio Ghibli, the animation production. Studio Ghibli for Japanese is like a Disney in the United States. It's a very famous animation company. It was created in 1980s, so it's not a very, very old company. But so far, they made over 20 animations, and one of them is this one, My Neighbor Totoro. So they created this one in 1988, but the time background is 1950s. So it's pretty old story, but still we will find some stuff which is familiar these days too. So even though this is about old life, it's really familiar with our lives still. But some of them are really old and something we don't do that anymore. But we feel some nostalgia from this story. Yeah, and Studio Ghibli, yeah, talking about Studio Ghibli, they have a lot of animation which are really famous and popular in Japan. I'm not gonna mention everything, but if I pick one from here, maybe this one is a little special. The title is Grave of the Fireflies, and as you can tell from this picture and the title, yeah, it's about war. These main characters are sister and brother, and the story is about them struggling with the war and hunger and thirstiness. It's pretty sad. The story is pretty sad. So but it's very educational. So when I watched this one, when I was a little, it was a little traumatized. But it was a good movie, good education. But yeah, it's very easily makes us very emotional. But this is a good one and very popular. And my neighbor Totoro here. And most of them are really fantasy and like magical city or magical town, magical world, and some of them are nostalgic things like school life in the past. Yeah, some main characters look back the time when they were students, like something about nostalgic thing. And I believe this is the most famous one, or maybe my neighbor Totoro was Spirited Away. This one on the left at the bottom. My neighbor Totoro and this one, Spirited Away, these two are really famous in the world. So if you haven't watched any of the Ghibli movies, maybe you can start with My Neighbor Totoro or Spirited Away. These two express a lot of Japanese culture and also magical like fantasy story. So you will have fun and kids too. And another one I'd like to mention is this one, Whisper of the Heart. What's special about this story is a song which is, I forgot, the West Virginia song, Country Road. Okay, sorry. It's Country Road, yeah, Country Road. They used Country Road as a main song of this story. The song is necessary and important in this story. I'm not gonna tell a lot of storyline, but this is not fantasy, it's more like real life. The main characters are middle school students, and they, like young adults, so they are struggling about their future, what they want to do in the future, or what they want to be as adults, something like that, and a little bit of romance as well. And the song is really important, and yeah, you will hear the Japanese version of Country Road, the song. Yeah, it's really nice. I didn't know it's from West Virginia, from America. Yeah, I didn't know that. I saw this Japanese song, but yeah, I got older and then I found, oh, it's from America. Okay, I didn't. But this is really nice. Yeah. Okay, so who watched My Neighbor Totoro before? Some of you? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, My Neighbor Totoro. There are some main characters. You too. Okay. The main characters would be Mei and Satsuki, these two sisters. These are sisters. Satsuki is older sister, maybe 10 years, around 10 years old, and Mei, the little sister, she is around 4 years old before elementary school. And Totoro, of course, he or she, or yeah, this creature is magical, and this is the main character of this story. And if you can tell, does anyone tell, what do you describe the story? No spoiler, but what's gonna happen at the beginning? Can you tell us about? Sure. Yeah, at the beginning. Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I watched it, but I'll try and remember. Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, from what I remember of My Neighbor Totoro, it's a story about two sisters and their daughter that moved to the countryside while their mother is in the hospital due to a mysterious illness. And it's pretty much a good mix of like fantasy with Totoro and a reality. I'm not gonna mention about the reality parts, there's a lot of spoilers, but it is very wholesome and it's a very good movie. I highly recommend because not only does it give it like childhood fantasy, but also teaches quite a few good life lessons as well.
Very good. I think you said very well.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. She mentioned it's fantasy and reality, the mixture.
Oh, the one that was for Torino, is that supposed to be an owl or a rabbit? I couldn't tell. Could you?
I think blue one and
The
blue
not the
one.
big one, the big one, that's the one that's,
Yeah.
the main character.
I never heard of the old stuff. It's just small Totoro, and the name was
Like the bus was a cat. The bus was a cat.
yeah.
What was that figure supposed to be? Is it for an animal? I wasn't sure.
It's animal and the Ghibli animation used a cat a lot, and cat could be Lucky-chan for Japanese. So yeah, they use cat, but it's just a magical creature. So they just made it for this movie and doesn't have a lot of meanings for it. Just magical creatures. Yeah, they are all magical creatures, but they live in this real life, Satsuki and Mei. And as she mentioned, yeah, this family, Satsuki, Mei, and father moved in the new area, which is like this, yeah, countryside, really countryside. But this is really typical countryside in Japan. There are a lot of rice field like this, and they moved to old house like this. And there are some uh, kind characters, good characters like her. She's nanny. She's just neighbor, but she's very kind and friendly, generous. So she's very nice. She take care of them very often. Yeah. So as I said, yeah, this is very typical countryside. This is the real photo of in Japan. There are a lot of rice field, and some of them are really flat, and some of them are like stairs, like this photo. In this photo, I think this is very special, and somehow I feel like similar. Like I found some similar sceneries in West Virginia, so I feel like really familiar with this place, rice field. And Inaka, yes, Inaka, it means countryside in Japanese. Inaka, yeah, this is Inaka, yeah, Japanese Inaka. And does anyone remember the boy's house? There was a boy in the story. Satsuki's friend. Yeah, he was a little mean at first. His house. Yeah, his house was like this. His house means like Nani's house as well. Yeah, this is from the story. This house is really old style, but we still have these houses in Japan like this. This is real photo. Yeah, as I said, it's made from Totoro. Made from Totoro. Why they made it is because this roof is really good for rain and snow. If snow comes, it doesn't accumulate it, so it just drop off on the floor. And also, this straw is good, strong for rain, and rain just drop off, and also no leaking, no leaking. So we used to use these straw for roofs, but now we don't do that. We need professional people to make these roofs. but we still have it. And one bad thing is these roofs can easily get fire. So when during the World War II or One, it burned. It burned. So there are not many houses like this now, but some of places have these houses still. So it's one of our national treasure or world heritage sites, something like that. It's good for sightseeing. And now this sounds like a little sensitive topic, but in Japan we have very unique religion idea and culture, even culture as well. So if you remember this scene from the story, what were they doing? You remember? Yeah. When they moved to yeah, when they moved to the new place, new house, they went to a shrine near the house, and like they made a visit to show their respect or something. Like we're gonna stay here, we're gonna start staying here, so please take care of us, protect us, combat us, something. So this is in the shrine nearby their house. This is exactly Shinto stuff. Like some Shinto has big trees. It's natural thing, and Shinto's idea is something related to the mottainai idea, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. Each object, like tree has spirit, and like water has spirit, ocean has spirit, river has spirit, and we think tree also has spirit. So some shrine think about big tree, really important. Big tree normally has old years, and this tree have been watching this area for a long time, so we think this tree has spirit, and this tree is very important. So they made a visit for this tree, and they like not pray but make a wish and vow to show their respect. This is really Shinto idea. And yeah, as I said, Shinto is related to shrine. And this is typical shrine appearance. There is a gate like this. And what we do at shrine is these things. Like New Year's visit and wedding ceremony. Yeah. New Year's visit is January 1st normally. We go to shrine and make a wish like thank you for last year, please protect us this year too, something like that. And wedding ceremony as well, wearing kimono, the traditional clothing, and celebrating. And also at shrine, when the new baby was born, we go to shrine and celebrate and make a wish like this. And also Shichigo-san. This is when kids turn 3 years old, 5 years old, and 7 years old. They go there, they go to shrine and make a wish. This is our tradition. I would say tradition. Like we don't think about this is very religious stuff, but as a tradition or customs, we do this. It's a unique part of Japanese people. And also one thing, maybe you remember this thing. Yeah. How do you remember what's happened? When did she find these forks? Do you remember? No, okay. Yeah, it's hard to remember everything. Yeah, once. When they are waiting for their father from university, they are waiting at the bus stop for their father to come back. She got bored waiting for long, and she was looking around, walking around the bus stop, and she found this fork. And this is also shrine stuff, Shinto stuff. Like forks is an essential protector of harvest. Like, as I said, there are a lot of rice fields in Japan. Rice is really important for us. So, but there are sometimes evil mouse who eats rice or destroy rice fields. But the fox, we think fox eat the kind of mouse, so we think fox is important. Fox protect the rice peeled from the mouse. So we thought fox is important.
What is the significance of the red scarf around the foxes?
Oh, red is, I think this red is very important color, the good luck meaning. Good luck meaning, I think if you think about China or something, our culture is came from China, Asian China, and they also think red is very important for good luck and everything. It's because broad color and everything, and so in Japanese people in the past also think red is really important color and good luck color, so we use red, and also this is to show our respect. We are taking care of this statue and fox. Foxes kind of protectors and guardians of God. So if we put these things on, it means we show respect for this statue and fox itself as well. So this kind of tradition. Yeah. So these things are really Shinto style. Shinto style. And what is another major religion in Japan?
Buddhism.
Yes, thank you. Buddhism is the one another major religion in Japan. And if you remember this scene, there is a statue behind them. Behind them, it's called Jizo Bosatsu. It's some of them are really cute appearance like this photo, and some of them are more mature, mature face. But this is more like Buddhist thing. Buddhist thing. These statues, you will find these statues on the street in Japan or near temple. They protect us from bad. They are guardians of children and travelers who use the street and also around the area. They are guardians of the around the area. Yeah, so there's a kind of monk, small monk. So they protect us. The people protect us. The people who is living in that area from bad. It's Buddhist stuff. So it's really mixing. Shinto and Buddhist is really mixing in Japan. And also another thing, you remember this thing? Yeah, it's pretty much around the ending, so I'm not gonna talk about a lot. But if we have some wish, like if we wanna make a wish, we do this gesture, and then do something like Nama Vidavutsu, Nama Vidavutsu, something like that. This action is related to Buddhist. My grandma sometimes do this. If someone got in danger or got some serious injury, she make a wish and please God, please protect us, something like that. So you will find this thing if you watch this movie. But yeah, this is really Buddhist stuff. Buddhist stuff. And as I said, Buddhist is really related to temple. And what we do at temple is New Year's Eve visit. Eve visit. New Year's visit was in shrine, but Eve is at temple, and funeral is at temple. And I'd like to show you the interesting figure. So religious believer in Japan, Shinto around 70%, Buddhist 66%. It's crazy, over 100%. So which means we believe in both. We believe in both. It's actually happening. It's real. If someone asks me what my religion is, I would say Shinto and Buddhist because I go to shrine at the New Year's Eve and I go to shrine New Year's Day. So it's happening. But why it happens to Japan is because of history. There are many theories that in the past the Japan government made a rule that people should consider Shinto and Buddhist as a single religion. It sounds crazy, but these are two different religions. But at that time, the government said you need to consider Shinto and Buddhist is same and need to be one religion. And it's crazy, but it lasted over 1,000 years. So that kind of idea still exists now, and we think it's not really different or should be separated. So we go to temple and shrine as well. And also another perspective, many of Japanese would say, "Oh, I don't have any religion. I don't believe in any religion." But actually, they go to shrine, they go to temple as a custom or tradition. So it's kind of really complicated situation. Like we have religions, but many people consider it's just a tradition, Japanese culture, tradition or custom. So so in this story, in this movie, there are a lot of Shinto style thing, action, Shinto style action, and Buddhist style action. They do both, and it was came from religious thing, Buddhist or Shinto religious thing, but we think it's kind of Japanese, part of Japanese culture as tradition or custom. So this graph happens. And of course, there are some other religions as well. Yeah, so far, do you have any questions? It's pretty complicated. Yeah, I'm open to answer. Okay, so let's talk about life and school in Japan. In this story, they use this one, Telegram. Have you heard of it or have you used Telegram before? No, it's too old, I guess. It's like during the war or a little after the war generation. And yeah, Telegram. Do you know what Telegram is? Yes, okay, yeah. I know. Yeah, it's like emergency letter. Something, normally something bad happens, they wanna tell the situation to family member or someone important. So they make a quick delivery to someone these letters. And yeah, you will find why she's gonna get this letter in the story. And this is something we don't do this anymore. We never use it, but in this story they use it. And after she got this one, does anyone remember what's happening next? Where she went?
The little girl goes to a phone to call her father because he's at work.
Oh,
He
yes.
wouldn't have gotten the message at work.
Thank you. Yeah.
About his wife.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, great memory. Thank you. Yeah, after she got this one, she went to the friend's house to make a phone call because she doesn't have a phone, and even at home too. So it shows, oh, there are not many people have phones at this time. It's like 1950s. So you will find the generation differences as well. There are not many people have phones. So she needed to go to family's house to make a phone call. And another thing that we don't do this anymore is this one. Yeah, well water. Yeah. I saw some places have this kind of tools, but they don't use it anymore. Just for like, just keep it and that's it as a traditional item or as a museum things. Yeah. Have we used this one before?
Yes.
For experience? Yeah, in the US or
US.
US. How was it? Like good experience?
We had them in the roadside rest along the interstate years ago. It was very common.
Oh, it's pretty recent. So,
40 years.
40 years.
40 years.
Oh, was it okay?
60.
Okay. Sorry, did you use it like every day or just for a short time?
Short term.
Short time, like emergency. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So it's very nice. Like it's very. It should be clean, and they use it for washing the clothing, and maybe dishes as well. Yeah, they use it before, and it seems like they are really enjoying. Oh yeah, I forgot, but these sisters came from a little bigger cities. They didn't mention, but from their reaction, like they got really excited when they moved in this house. Like everything's old and country and a lot of nature and these tours, like they really got excited. So it seems like they came from a little bigger city, not really countryside like this. Yeah, it shows like. And also, this is really Japanese style, futon and kaya. Does anyone know what futon is?
Yes.
It became kind of vocabulary here too, right? Yeah, I heard of it. Futon is the mattress and duvet. Like instead of bed, we use these things. Futon. That's very nice. And kaya is this filtered thing. You can see one more photo. This green and red one, it's filtered tent. So for mosquito, like especially in summer, there are a lot of mosquitoes, but we need to keep the room clean and open the window so that we can keep the room cool and also no mosquito when we are sleeping. So there's filtered tent, and we're gonna swim inside. I never used this one, but I heard some people still do this in countryside. Yeah, in the city it's too hot. Even though we do this, it's too hot, so we need AC and things like that. And many people use bed nowadays. But futon, if you go to traditional Japanese hotel, sometimes they have futon, so you can experience it. It's really nice. I liked it. And these things are not getting unfamiliar recently, but this one, next one, we still do this. It's really different from here. I heard like you have dryer, right? Dryer, clothing dryer. Yeah, but Japan it's not common to use dryer for clothing. Yeah. So we dry clothing outside. I heard a story from my American friend living in Japan. She wanted to dry inside of her house, but her husband wanted to dry their clothing outside, so they got argument a little bit, and yeah, finally they dry inside. So, yeah, there are not many dryers for clothing in Japan, so but still she wanted to dry inside. We normally dry these things outside, and especially countryside, I think it's really good. Yeah, the air, the fresh air, and good sunshine. But in the city, maybe the air isn't so good like countryside. So yeah, there's pros and cons, but this is very Japanese style. We want sunshine into our clothing. Yeah, and this is something we still do as well. What's this box name?
Bento.
Bento, yes. This is bento box. Yeah. She was making bento. She's a really good girl. My parents did that for me. Bento, and if you take a closer view of this is rice, and the red one is plum, Japanese plum. It's very sour and a little salty. Uh, Something reminds you of what it does it looks like, white and red. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's Japanese flag. Yeah. So some people still do that, like rice and put the red brown, sour brown in the middle, and looks like Japanese flag. Yeah, this is our tradition. Yeah, we did this. Yeah, so Japanese flag, and we put some fish and some decorations, and we make these bento box and bring it to school or workplace and have these things for lunch. Yeah, this is really cool. And next week, this week, this Thursday, we're gonna make rice bowl. So we put rice bowl into these bento boxes sometimes. We do that too, so we can make some onigiri rice bowl. And you can try this sauerkraut. It's very salty and sour. I'm not sure if you like it or no, but you can try Japanese brown. Okay, and talking about school, like lunch meal and school lunch, in this story they brought their lunch box, bento box to school, but actually many elementary schools serve us school meal. So this is a little rare, even though at this time. But elementary school normally have school meal. And before children eat the school meal, we have this job. this job. Yeah, what are they doing, these white boys and girls?
They're serving the food that was cooked by the adults.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the foods are already cooked by adults, workers. But these workers put this food in front of our classroom, and when it's time for lunch, we go outside of classroom and take this food in the big bin, big plate, and then we're gonna start serving. It's our rules. So we take turns. Like this week, you're gonna be the server, and next week you're gonna be the server, something like that. We have groups and we take turns. Yeah, after serving, we're gonna start eating together. Yeah, we're gonna wait for these girls and boys to finish. So serving is kind of our job for elementary school students. Middle school and high school, the school meal is getting less. Yeah, we normally bring lunch box to the school, middle school and high school. But elementary school, we have these things. Yeah, it's pretty healthy. Rice and salad and soup. We have the nutrition people, so they think about the balance of nutrition. It's pretty good. And other thing, yeah, this is from the movie. Yeah, Satsuki, she has these bags, red, and we cannot see, but her friends also have this red backpack. And the boy, this is a boy has a blue bag, but the shape is still the same. And I brought the backpack here today. Yeah. This is something we still use. Yeah, we still use. The color is more varied, but at that time we only had red and blue. Red is for girls and blue for boys. At that time, yeah, we separated. But we have a lot of colors. You can pass through this one and you can open it. There are some paintings, Japanese paintings, and some Japanese textbooks. If you open this. Yeah, keyboard. Yeah. And also we have the yellow hat. At that time, it seems like they didn't have these hats and cap, but lately we have these hats, girls and boys. Like this. Yeah, my head got bigger, but yeah, these things are for elementary school kids. But why do you think it's yellow?
For safety.
For safety, great. Yeah, your school buses are yellow, right? Yeah, it's same idea. Like yellow is very brighter, easy to recognize when they are walking on the street. So it's for safety. Yeah, it's for safety. She needs to wear. But yeah, so this is very typical Japanese elementary school students walking to that school. Yeah, many students goes to school. Many students go to school on foot. Yeah, like only 10 minutes or 15 minutes walk. And wearing the backpack, this backpack. And this is a little extra. They didn't mention in the movie, but I want to mention it's a little unfamiliar here. So when they get to the entrance of the school, They do this. What are they doing?
Taking their shoes off.
Taking the shoes off, yeah. And they have another shoes, something like this. It's like slippers. It's slippers for us. So it's indoor shoes. So we need to change the shoes. We will take off our sneakers that we use outside and put on these another shoes, like slippers, to wear at school, in classroom and restroom. Yeah, we use these things. So this is really Japanese culture, I think. This is new one, so it's not that yet. You can pass through. So there's a big shoes case at the entrance.
Wabaki.
Key?
Wabaki.
Uwabaki, yes, uwabaki is Japanese shoes. Uwabaki means indoor shoes. Yeah, indoor shoes, something like that. Yeah. And another thing. Yeah. What are they doing?
There's really
Cleaning the floor, wiping the floor. Yes, they did it in the movie. And we do this at school too. School, we wipe, we clean up our classroom, library, restroom, everywhere in the school. We need to clean. It's our job as well. Elementary, high school, middle.
I'm told there's no graffiti in the bathrooms because the children would have to clean it up. So there's no writing on the bathroom.
No, yeah, maybe a little small one, but it's not like big one. Oh, did you have a lot of graffiti in restaurant? It's we normally don't have that kind of graffiti. Yeah, we clean every day after lunch or before we leave the school. It's our job. It's for elementary, middle, and high school as well. University, we finally don't clean our school. Yeah, but yeah, this is very fun, kind of fun. And last one, this is the last one. We can move on to the activity. This scenery is really a little traditional scenery. Not many people do this, but this is Japanese traditional living room. There's no chairs. We sit on the floor and doing quiet sitting style like this. Father too, that's great. And eat together using chopsticks, yes. So I brought chopsticks, we can practice. So yeah, this is very traditional living room style. But recently chairs and a little tall table is getting more popular. I think my family's house still have these things, and this is very traditional. But this sitting style is pretty painful. I cannot do it for a long time. Maybe 10 minutes is the maximum. But this is very Japanese polite sitting style. Is this one. Okay, so let's do some chopsticks practice and traditional toys. I bought some of them, so I'm gonna give you some chopsticks and some toys randomly. You can rotate, take turns with. But so far, do you have any questions?
You have chopsticks replaced with a Western would use as a fork.
Yeah,
You still have spoons and knives, obviously.
Yes, we have them. Obviously, we use forks, spoons, things to. Am I understanding correctly? Yeah, we use everything. Yeah, but chopsticks is kind of more old, traditional. Like in the past, we only had chopsticks, and then our country is westernized, and then got forks and knives. Yeah, it's very convenient. What else? Yeah. This is a chopsticks game sheet. You can use this sheet. There's some instruction on it.
What do these old people who think they get down on the floor, sit at the table? And I mean, if I did that, I couldn't get it. I know I can't. What do you do with old people? Sit down to eat. Do they get up? Move around.
They need it, they need to get out and they have that here. These guys get, but they seem to have some material that we small chairs so that we can see the reflex. We have some cushion. There's something to
Yeah.
I
love it.
Yeah, she did say it to people.
She
said,
That's right.
it's just like that. What we do, text, accent, you have that. Yeah, that's. And it's just, use how to begin with use them.
Yes,
yeah.
But,
There's point, came from. I would say this problem here, don't
That's all right. Well, backpacks.
I have a couple of even sensitive, but we've never used them. And I've been thinking, I'm sure these exist because I knew you were surprised.
We have another question. If the kids in your pen were backpacks, are they all made? It's heavy material or it's some of them?
We make
Yeah.